Hello. So today I'm having a chat to you about what I see as the risk of standardised screening and risk assessments for coercive control. Coercive control is all over the media. It's a hot topic, and it's getting a lot of attention thanks to the likes of Jess Hill, Louise Milligan, Evan Stark, and a whole host of others. Because in Australia, we're having around a woman every week being killed in Australia as a result of violence by an intimate partner. And this has led to the government starting to put in place risk assessments and screening tools and protocols that different organisations can use. There's a downside to having these processes in place if you are, like me, someone who can't tick the boxes of the standardised processes that are in place to capture victims of domestic violence. So you'll have to put up with me, I'm reading off some paper here because can't remember it all, but that's okay. When I started to go through the domestic violence sector in 2019, I presented to the Orange Door 4 times over 2019. And while there was some assistance there, nobody did a risk assessment. And I know that because the risk assessment that eventually was done December 2019, after 11 months of trying to get help. So I fell through every system crack. Every risk assessment question put to me, even though there wasn't a formal one done, every question asked of me was not one that I could answer because mine was not a standard situation. I didn't fit into a neat category that could be pigeonholed, streamlined into that service or that service. So every time I was asked a question by a domestic violence worker or the police, anyone, I couldn't answer. How do you answer questions when it's not your experience, but you know that it's not right? So I'm going to run through some of the models that are out there at the moment. So the Australian Government Department of Health, they have basic risk assessment questions on their website, and they say, within the last year, have you ever been hit, slapped or hurt in other ways by your partner or ex-partner? Or in the last year, has your partner or someone in your family or household ever pushed, hit, kicked, punched or otherwise hurt you? Are you ever afraid of your partner or ex-partner or someone in your family? In the last year, has your partner or someone in your family or household ever or often put you down, humiliated you, or tried to control what you can or cannot do? And in the last year, has your partner or ex-partner ever hurt or threatened to hurt you in any way? Would you like help with any of this now? And are you safe to go home when you leave here now? Now, in Victoria, we have what's called the MARAM, and that's the Victorian Family Violence Multi-Agency Risk Assessment and Management Framework. And it is it's what's considered the gold standard in Victoria now. And it's got basic risk screening and identifying questions at the beginning. And again, has anyone in your family done something that made you or your children feel unsafe or afraid? Are there multiple perpetrators? Have they controlled your day-to-day activities? For example, who you see, where you go, or do they put you down? Have they threatened to hurt you in any way? Have they physically hurt you in any way, such as hitting you, slapping, kicking, or otherwise physically hurting you? Do you have any immediate concerns about the safety of your children or someone else in your family? Do you feel safe to leave here today? Would you engage with a trusted person or police if you felt unsafe or in danger? Now, they're all sounding the same, aren't they? There's got to be something tangible that the person in front of you assessing you can hang on to, that they can go, hang about, that sounds like we need to evaluate it further. And again, they say, do you feel safe to leave here today? And often people don't feel, they don't realize that they are afraid because they're living in it. When you're in a situation of coercive control, you're in it. You don't realize what's happening a lot of the time until you're out of it, because it feels so normal. It's what you've been living in. And then another organisation is called Moving Forward, and here's their coercive control checklist. Is there someone in your life who makes you feel afraid, controls what you do or say, puts you down or embarrasses you, accuses you of flirting or cheating, forces or pressures you to do sexual things, threatens to hurt you themselves, friends or family? Are they constantly checking your phone and location? Do they limit your access to money? If any of the actions above are occurring, they may be signs of coercive control and domestic abuse. If you answered yes to any of these, or recognise that you use these behaviours, you are likely to be in an unhealthy relationship. So when you get repeatedly asked the same questions and you find yourself going, yeah, no, I didn't know that. No, that didn't happen. No, it didn't happen that way. No. You start to realize that you're not able to answer the questions because the way they're put to you doesn't fit your circumstances. It didn't fit with me either. You know, we think of coercive control as being, not having any money, not being allowed to work, not having access to money. Finances are controlled. You're not allowed to see family or friends. You're isolated. You're kept away. You're told what to wear. Your partner is jealous. They accuse you of having affairs. They accuse you of flirting. All of this is the overt presentation of coercive control, but it wasn't what I had. And the more I speak to women and other victims, it's not what they get either. What happens to someone when it's the reverse? So you're not having problems accessing money, but you're made to be responsible for the payment of every single bill. You're responsible for ensuring that when your partner gets out of the car to put petrol in the car at the service station, that there's money in their account to pay for the fuel because they don't check their bank account. Or you're left to make all of the household decisions. You're left to make sure that, every bill is paid. There's money for this, there's money for that, there's food in food in the fridge. And it feels so petty, doesn't it? When I say this stuff and I talk to people about how it can manifest in a different way, people often don't get it because you didn't have money. You weren't cut off from money, Lisa. Yeah, but my access to money was only via someone else's login. So in a 10-year marriage, we didn't have a joint account. And my only access to funds was by internet banking, because I couldn't go into the branch and make a withdrawal because I wasn't a signatory on any account. But I was made to be responsible for the payment of every single bill. And it was my problem, it was my fault if bills weren't paid or if there wasn't enough money to pay for a tax bill. So I, for more than 10 years, was responsible for all of the business and personal finances. And so it was all my fault. That's how it worked out. And so that was an interesting paradigm to sit in. The same with, strangulation is a clear indicator to everyone that you're in a situation, you're in a relationship where someone is doing something to you against your will. But what if it's not against your will? What if you like it? What if it feels good? What if it is what you like, but your partner does it to other women without their consent? So how do you answer that? So you go to the police, or the police are talking to you and they go, oh, so were you ever strangled? I can remember going, no, because they were asking, was it non-consensual? And, it sounded, you talk about this stuff and I can hear people going, why are you talking about that, Lisa? That's really, really personal. Why would you share that? Because everyone's sexuality is different. And we all have likes and dislikes, and we're all sexual beings. And if we're in an intimate relationship, we're in an intimate sexual relationship with someone. And so if they do something consensually with you, but then they take that consensual act and they attempt to use it on other women, where does that fit in? Does it become, as I had to learn, I had to learn how to answer this question. No, he didn't strangle me because it was consensual, but he attempted it on other women without consent. And so the pattern of that controlling behavior was present. That took a long time to figure out how to do that, how to fit my experience that was making me go crazy into a risk screening protocol that required so much unpacking before it could be seen as domestic violence. So what if there was a better way? What if there was a better way of assessing? What if there were better questions? So I'm going to read out questions that I wish I had been asked, because I'm not in the minority. There's more of me There's more victims like me who drive a Mercedes. I had a Mercedes. I dressed well. I spoke well. I presented well. I didn't turn up to the orange door looking like I had slept in my car for 3 weeks. I didn't turn up to the hospital with slashed wrists and unable to get out of the fetal position. I presented as a reasonably intelligent, rational woman who couldn't answer a lot of the questions that were being asked. I remember being asked very early on, did I need an intervention order? I didn't think I did, but it turned out that I did. But that didn't happen for quite some time. So we don't ask the appropriate questions because we don't want to a lot of the time. And it's easier to ask the overt, in your face, hard to miss questions because everybody can understand those. No one understands the kind of insidious, covert, coercive control that goes on, because even when relationships fall apart, it's not well understood. And people just often see it as a victim being too sensitive, too much of everything, really. So let's jump right in and let's have a look at these questions. So I warn you, there's 111, and I haven't even got to the end of how many questions there could be that someone could be asked and get a positive response. So let's have a go. So is there someone in your life who scares you but always apologizes afterwards? Someone who doesn't mean to make you feel afraid or scared? Someone who doesn't hit you but might make you feel as if they could or are holding back? Is there someone who tells you how restrained they are and how they deal with you? Is there someone in your life who yells at you in private but never in public? Is there someone who has made it so uncomfortable or unpleasant at times that your friends or clients, colleagues, employees, etc., have apologized to you for getting you in trouble? Is there someone in your life who has made it clear that passive aggression is better than acting out? Is there someone who tells everyone how proud they are of you while privately criticizing you? Someone who makes you feel as if you should be humble like them? Someone who praises you publicly? Someone who doesn't call you by your first name? Someone who calls you babe, honey, darling all the time, because it's easier to do that, because then you aren't depersonalized. Is there someone who calls their exes something other than their real name, like ex-wife number 1, 2, 3? Is there someone in your life who says things like, well, what do you want me to do? You want me to cancel that? Whenever you challenge them about something that they've done or an event that they're going to or an arrangement that they've made? Do you have someone that makes you feel as if you have to fact check everything they tell you? Do you have someone who consistently lies to you, either directly or by omission, leading you then to do the fact checking and then the questioning? What's this? Do they make you feel guilty for not believing what they tell you? Do they constantly apologise and promise to do better? There's that intermittent reinforcement. Do they constantly apologise and promise to do better? Do their apologies or remorse feel genuine? Often they do, and we hang on that. We soak that up, and it makes us feel good. And we can survive on an apology for a long time, and they can feel really genuine until the next time. Have they ever embarrassed you in front of others? Boy, oh boy. Have they ever sabotaged a job or a project? Do they say, sorry, I forgot a lot? Sorry, I forgot is code for, I don't have to think about you. You don't mean enough to me to think about. Do they forget things you have explained again and again? Do they flirt with others even though they know it hurts you? If you've asked them to stop doing something that affects you, have they stopped doing it? Or did it take a long time before they got it? It's like speeding tickets, parking tickets. You know, do they keep getting speeding tickets until one day they've got no points left? And that's only what makes them think about it. Do you find yourself doing most of the relationship work and being responsible for everything? Now, this gets brushed off as the emotional load, and people, perpetrators like to go, well, you're just a nag. You know, you're just, you can't do your own load, so you just want me to take over. You just want me to pick up your slack. Are you responsible for all the financial bill paying, making sure there is enough money for food and fuel? Do you have to remember every bill and when it has to be paid? Is it up to you to remember everything that needs to be done? Does your partner contribute to the emotional load of the relationship? Does your partner put your clothes away? Does your partner know where you put different clothes away, such as underwear? Honest to God, it took a decade before someone in my life actually paid any attention to putting clothes away. I'd come home and I'd go to bed and my clothes would be folded up on my side of the bed. If you put clean clothes away, do you put everyone's clothes away? Do you feel as if you can't say no to sex with them? Do they make you feel as if you are being prudish or not adventurous enough for them? Do they ask you to do sexual things you don't want to do? If you say no to anything, are there consequences? Does your partner scream and yell at you in the car? Boy, these bring back memories. Does your partner scream and yell at you at home or elsewhere? Has your partner ever made you feel as if everything is your fault? Do you feel as if you can't do anything right? Does your partner run hot and cold with affection? Do you have to beg or ask for affection from your partner? Does your partner ration the affection they give you? That, because, you know, affection and intimacy is a punishment and reward system, positive and negative responses. You behave badly, according to them, and they'll punish you. They'll go sulk. They'll withdraw. Does it feel as if your partner is using affection to bring you into line? There's that positive and negative reinforcement. Does affection or intimacy feel like a weapon? Have you ever run away from your partner? Yes. Nobody ever asked me that question. That's a little gem, isn't it? Have you ever told anyone that you were afraid of your partner? Yep. I told a doctor, and the doctor didn't do a goddamn thing. didn't ask me if I was safe, didn't follow up, didn't do anything. Does your partner get angry if you check up on where they are? Have you ever been called jealous, possessive, suspicious, controlling, or abusive by a partner? Oh, yeah. Yep. Particularly after he had an affair with a client. Does your partner have lots of exes you've never met? Does your partner tell you that his family or friends don't like you? You know, if you don't meet, or if you don't meet the exes, or family and friends don't seem to like you, it's a red flag. Has your partner threatened to leave you but still stays? That's like, I'm going to kill myself if you leave. It's very manipulative, isn't it? Are you getting a pattern here? Does your partner say things like, don't make me choose my family, or whatever it is, over you, because you know I'll choose them? One foot in the camp, isn't it? One foot in, one foot out. Has your partner ever said, if I can't have you, no one will? Does your partner sabotage weight loss efforts by buying biscuits or convincing you he likes you just the way you are? Does your partner compare you to other women you know, or to women on porn sites? If you're out with your partner and they meet someone, do they introduce you? I mean, some of these are just such basic things that, you know, it's common courtesy. But I can tell you that these are real red flags, because when you're standing there while they're having a great old time with someone that they know, and they don't even bother to introduce you, that's a red flag, because it means that you are not actually part of their life. You're not part of their thought processes enough to recognize that they need to introduce you to this person. So much of this feels like it's just common sense and common relational issues, but they're not. They're not petty. They are a cascading domino course of conduct pattern that just keeps growing and growing and growing, and they all feel like micro paper cuts, but they're all really significant in assessing what's going on in this relationship. If you're an external person trying to figure out what's going on. Does your partner give you the same gift for every birthday or every Christmas? I got perfume the first time, and I got perfume every year after that, because it was easy and people don't have to think too hard. When you don't have to worry about what you get, you don't have to think about them. Does your partner choose others over you? So if something happens, are they always going to support someone else? Are they always leaving you, say, hypothetically after an operation, when you're stuck, and they go and spend a few days with someone else who's asked for their help? So you're left in bed, unable to get around because you're recovering from an operation. That kind of thing, you know, it sounds so simple, doesn't it? That they should put you first, but they don't. Does your partner have to shout everyone at dinner? And does your partner find it impossible to say no to others? So this is that grandiose generosity. They need to pay for everyone because they get that rush, that fix of being generous. Does your partner seem to need constant reassurance and affection from you? There's that narcissistic supply. Does your partner put you down sexually? Does your partner act like a child instead of an adult? Does your partner leave everything for you to do or manage and then complain about your controlling behaviours to others? Does your partner tell others that you are controlling? Has your partner withdrawn financial support? Has your partner ever strangled you, whether consensually or not? Has your partner ever strangled any other woman? See, that's the important question. Does your partner need sex every day? Has your partner ever told you they get their intimacy needs met from sex? Does having sex calm your partner down? Do you find yourself having sex just to get it over and done with? Do you find yourself having sex to avoid the consequences of saying no? Do you have sex even though you don't want to? Does your partner make you feel that their sexual requests are normal and your attitude is not normal? Does your partner ever suggest you have sex with another person while they are there? Now, you know, these are not questions designed to create some judgment. A lot of these are questions that people don't ask because they think that you don't want to intrude on someone's sexuality, someone's sexual life. But these are really important questions because I know women who have been put under these pressures, myself, others. These are not uncommon situations. And, there's all sorts of kink out there, and that's great. Sexuality is normal. It's absolutely normal. Sometimes the way it's presented and packaged by a perpetrator is not. Does your partner masturbate in front of you? Now that's a pretty big one. A lot of victims will say that that's something that they've experienced and they hate it. And it's a normal human urge, and there's nothing wrong with it until it impacts your relationship. So that's a big question, and we don't get asked these kind of things because sexual kinks and things like that, they don't seem to come into this kind of conversation. Does your partner make you feel bad if you don't let them masturbate or do other acts if they tell you they need it, if you won't have sex with them? There's that lovely manipulation happening again. Has anyone suggested to you that sex helps calm them down so they can control their anger? Well, that was a big one for me. I was told that if I wanted to have a biddable husband who could manage his constant, ongoing daily frustrations with me, that he had to have sex because that was the only way that he could manage his rage at me. How's that? You like that? How does that make you feel? Yeah, made me feel like shit. And I feel like I'm talking to play school. Do you ever feel as if you are the only one doing any of the work in the relationship? Does your partner say things to make you feel good and then not follow through with them? Does your partner promise to do whatever it takes, but then just doesn't do anything? Are you responsible for everything? Now, they sound like really wide open questions. And they are, because most of us who have gone through this, we know that we've been responsible for everything. We know we've been the ones to manage the finances and to manage the household and to do this and to do that, because we don't fit the standard model. We haven't had our money. Money hasn't been a problem. It's just that we have not had our own, or we've been responsible for it. Are you the one who has to say no to family and friends all the time? So are you the one going, no, sorry, we're not free that weekend. No, that's too far away. No, I'm sorry, we've got something else on. No, we can't afford that. Yeah. Are you the one who always has to be the negative Nelly when your partner wants to stay out all night or do things that impact both of you the next day? Does your partner lack consideration when it comes to your needs? Does your partner do things that impact your health in any way? He'd keep me out all night knowing that we were going to be up at 4:30 the next morning and that, I've got health issues. Has your partner ever denied your health or other issues to others? Well, I don't hide that I've had suicide attempts, and apparently they never existed. Go figure. Have you ever been left to make your own way to hospital? Does your partner look good to others but treats you badly? Do people see your partner differently to how he is at home? I can remember, I would be abused at breakfast when we'd be out overseas on holidays because they were strangers and he could get away with it. Does it feel as if your partner is more concerned with how others see him? Oh yes, there's that. Oh, don't speak about me in public. Don't air dirty laundry. Does your partner text and call female colleagues or friends at inappropriate times? Wowee, yes he did. Does your partner encourage others to engage with him in similarly inappropriate ways? Yes he did. Does your partner act in offensive ways in public and tell you it's just kidding around? Oh yes, I got that a lot. Can't take a joke, Lisa. You're thin-skinned. Does your partner act in ways that are more like a teenager than an adult? Does your partner take risks that he doesn't understand or accept have consequences? Does it feel as if your partner lives in a consequence-free zone? Does your partner behave as if the normal rules of society don't apply to him? Does your partner ignore speed limits or parking restrictions? Ah, yes, he does. Has your partner left you in debt? Big tick there. Has your partner used a vehicle in your name to collect parking and speeding tickets? Oh boy, did he ever? Does your partner spend money as if they will always have it? Does your partner refuse to work with you on any kind of financial budget? And this, again, it seems like petty stuff, but you don't appreciate the level of control until you try to get someone to participate in, say, making and sticking to a budget. I couldn't get that to happen. And when you say to people, we could see he could spend up to $500 a week eating out, they're horrified. But they don't realize that you can't do anything else because there's no way to constrain people like this into a budget, and they won't do it. Have you ever found yourself giving in and just forgetting about trying to manage a budget? Yep. Has it ever become easier to just give in to your partner? Does your partner go from happy to angry in a heartbeat? And does your partner behave one way in public and another in private? Now, I'm sure that you've got plenty of other questions that you wish you'd been asked. It's not, my list is not exhaustive. It's based on my lived experience and those of other women that I know. When risk assessments only focus on the overt and the easy to identify, those of us who fall through the cracks will continue to do so. Please, when talking to victims, ask deeper, broader questions. Drill down into issues. Don't just rely on the superficial, overt, easy questions. Ask hard questions. You'll find that there's more of us that are invisible than you realized. Thanks for listening.